First story is titled, Am I the a-hole for possibly breaking up my parents? I think I'm the a-hole, but my mom and brother said I'm absolutely not. I thought I'd ask. The pandemic hit my family hard, and we are just barely scrapping by. Rent is paid, bills are paid, use the tiny bit left over for groceries and gas. My mom is working crazy hours, my dad is unemployed, and I, 16 female, work part-time at a fast food restaurant to help out. I babysat for our neighbors a few weeks ago, and with some of the money, I bought my brother, 8 male, a costume I found for pretty cheap at a discount store, because I'm pretty certain he wouldn't have gotten one otherwise, and I wanted him to be able to dress up at school. My dad demanded I give him the rest, because he wanted to buy himself some drinks, and my mom won't waste money on it. I said no, I was going to use it towards getting a bus pass so we could stop worrying about gas for the car I'm using. The next morning, my money was gone, but the drinks he wanted were there. I was really upset, and when my mom asked, I told her what happened. She got very angry and gave me the money to get a bus pass. I said I'd pay her back, but she told me not to worry about it. My dad is pissed I ratted him out. He's been an a-hole since, saying rude, sometimes inappropriate things to me since. Here's where I'm probably the a-hole. He made another crappy comment a few nights ago, and I lost my temper. I told him maybe if he got a job, he wouldn't have to steal from his 16-year-old daughter to buy his unnecessary vices. He started yelling, but I just left for work. I texted my mom letting her know everything that happened and asking it would be alright to go stay with a relative for a while. When I got back, my mom told me my brother confirmed my version of what happened, which was very different from my dad's. And my dad is now staying with my grandfather. My mom is talking about divorce, and my grandfather called to lecture me about making up stories to make my dad look like an a-hole and breaking up my family. I shouldn't have said what I did, but my mom keeps telling me it's no one's fault but his, even though my dad and grandfather are blaming me. Am I the a-hole for what essentially feels like breaking up my parents? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. You did not break up your parents. You did not cause this fight. Any problem your parents have is between them. Your dad is the a-hole here. He is an adult who stole money from his 16-year-old daughter to buy himself drinks, while his partner is working overtime to support the entire family. If your mother is mad at him, it's not because you told her. It's because she knows how messed up his behavior is. Agreed. And if mom is talking divorce over this, I'm betting there's been problems for a while now, and this is just the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back. Your dad is a total a-hole for stealing from you to support his habit and lying about it. Your mom sounds awesome, and has every right to be pissed at him. Not the a-hole. It's not even the proverbial straw. Most adults can handle our partner's issues. Once those start spilling over and becoming problems for our kids, no. We as the partner may have signed on to a bunch of crap under the "till death do us part" clause, but damn if drinking, drugging, stealing, whoring, or whatever the crap show is, not the kid's fault or problem, ever. Not the a-hole. This was just the last straw for your mom. Obviously, there were other issues that you don't know about. You wouldn't even have been the a-hole if you had smashed the bottles. You were probably better off. He sounds horrible. Holy crap, not the a-hole. It is not your fault that your father is unemployed. It's also not your fault or responsibility to buy him alcohol because he wants it. It's nice of you, as a teenager, to work and help the family out, and that shows a lot of maturity and responsibility for you. The fact that your father feels entitled to steal the money you worked for to buy something completely unnecessary is disgusting. You didn't cause your father to leave. I have a funny feeling this is only the tip of the iceberg. Does he drink often? Does he demand that everyone wait on him hand and foot while he sits on his butt? He's coming across as very entitled and selfish, and those are good reasons for your mother to divorce him. And the fact that your grandfather is accusing you of making things up is interesting as well. Sounds like your father has a number of enablers that will make excuses for his selfishness. You may have been a catalyst to your mom finally getting the courage to leave him, but please don't take this as your fault. It isn't. Keep doing what you're doing and detach from any responsibility for your parents' marriage. They are the adults, and they can manage their problems themselves without putting you in the middle. Now for the second story. Am I the a-hole for possibly costing my son his best friend? My son, 10, has been playing Fortnite with his best friend for a couple years. For about a year and a half of that time, it was just the two of them playing, and in the last 6 months, more and more of their classmates have started to join in. My kids are with me every other week, and on the weeks they are here, I spend a good amount of time with them, chilling, doing homework, movies, etc. I live with my girlfriend and her 3 kids, so we spend a lot of time in the boys' very large bedroom. About 3 months ago, I started noticing my son being upset and found out that he was being kicked from the groups. And at first, I was concerned maybe he was being a jerk or whatever. About 2 months back, I was in their room and my son was playing with his friends, and I heard him kind of begging and saying, "Don't kick me." And then he said, "I don't have V-Bucks to get you that skin," and then he got kicked. I asked him what was going on, and he downplayed it, and I let it go. Since that point, I've seen the same thing happen a few more times, and I finally got him to open up to me, and it turns out he has been being bullied by his friend for a long time into giving/gifting skins, emotes, and other items. I explained to him that I got the V-Bucks for him to get stuff for himself, and that I can't afford to be getting his friend's stuff. He said he understood and said he would stop. It turns out that his friend has been doing this to all of his friends, and he opened up to me that he had given this kid 20 plus items, ranging from 1,200 to 2,000 V-Bucks, $12 to $20 each. So, I've spent anywhere from $250 to $400 on this kid that I know of. I had written out a long text to this kid's mom a couple weeks back, and for some reason, I decided not to send it. Well, Tuesday, yep, you guessed it, I was in the kid's bedroom and I heard, "No, Billy, I don't have enough V-Bucks to get you that skin." But then I heard, "You know what, Billy? I've given you more than 20 things and you've given me one." He was of course kicked from the group. That was the last straw for me, and I guess for my son too. It turns out that the other kids were giving this kid whatever he wanted, and that was why my son often was the one who would get kicked. I told him I was going to be sending his friend's mom a text explaining everything, and I also had some text messages with Billy saying, "If you buy me the skin, I will refriend you." He begged me not to send it, but I obviously thought it was important enough that the mom needed to know what her kid was doing. She replied back in a very understanding way, apologizing to my son and to me, and she said she would be talking to her son yesterday after school. So, my son didn't want to go to school today because he is worried about how things will be. So, am I the a-hole, or did I do the right thing? Hard to ruin a 5-year best friend relationship, and yes, I see that this kid wasn't really being a best friend. Oddly, I blame COVID for bringing this on. For 6 months, the only place they saw each other was online. And yes, the mother has offered to reimburse us for the V-Bucks. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. Real best friends don't beg their friends to get something for them. Not beg. The kid is bullying others to give him skins by not allowing them to play with him if they don't give him skins. I think this is a really important distinction. The kid didn't beg or even ask. He demanded. He then made these demands a conditioned precedent for his friendship. Opie did the right thing, but now there will be a difficult time for his son. He may very well go to school and find that he is now without a friend group, since it sounds like the other friends are still under the bully's sway. That is rough, having to go to school every day without a friend group. Not the a-hole. You are protecting your son from being bullied and financially abused. Your son is not mature enough to understand the situation, and you have to do what is best for his interest. He will come to understand your reasons. Your son is not mature enough to understand the situation, and you have to do what is best for his interest. It's good for kids to have autonomy, but if they use their autonomy to do stupid crap, whether it's of their own volition or they're manipulated into doing it, sometimes you have to step in and do the right thing for them. Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. Now, you need to sit down with your son, explaining why what was being done was so wrong. You don't, for the most part, buy friendships. That's what he was doing. Now let's read a poster's little update. So, I went to pick him up from school, and he was doing great. He said yes, his friend is mad at him, but that he was still talking to him. Billy has lost his gaming, phone, and internet privileges for 30 days, and was made to apologize to my son. I was trying to keep my posting somewhat short, so I didn't explain how much we talked about all of this. We go on nightly walks. I took the time to explain that real friends don't do this type of stuff, and my son totally understands that. I haven't heard back yet from the mom, but have no reason to think she won't follow through and pay us back. Thank you to all you that commented, and wow, I have never received awards like this before. Thank you to all, and to people posting that why did I do this or saying I made a bad choice. I will just say that I've had many parents and people reply they have gone through similar stuff and that this post hit home with them, so that reason enough to me. Thank you again, everyone. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for driving my daughter away from a teaching career? My wife is an anesthesiologist and I am an interventional cardiologist. As a result, all 3 of my children, 25 female, 21 female, 17 female, grew up extremely privileged. Being born when we were both established already, they have never seen what life is like under a family income of $800,000. My eldest 2 children are both planning on following in our footsteps and are planning on pursuing medicine. My youngest is in the process of looking at colleges and has recently become very passionate about pursuing a teaching career. My sister-in-law is a high school science teacher, and the two of them have been spending a lot of time talking about a career. I want to be clear. I have the utmost respect for the profession and the people who choose to dedicate their time to helping educate the future. However, I was concerned that my daughter has never really thought through the financial realities of the profession. My sister-in-law is married to a very successful lawyer, so my daughter hasn't been exposed to the lifestyle of the average educator. I don't think money is everything, but my youngest daughter's hobbies are skiing and horseback riding. She loves to shop and loves designer clothing. So last week, I sat her down and went through our family financials. I even contextualized it and explained how much cheaper certain items could be if we choose to make more economical choices. She is now much more hesitant and committed to teaching, and my sister-in-law thinks I'm a massive a-hole. I'm being accused of destroying her dreams and stepping on her passions. I don't want to push her into medicine if she doesn't care for it. That's neither good for her, her future mentors, or her future patients. I'm also not telling her not to pursue teaching. I just think she should understand the implications of living off of a 1/20th of the income. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. You're right, your family is very privileged in the financial realm, and going over that with your daughter so that she can make the most well-informed choices for herself going forward is being a responsible parent. Too many kids go into college expecting to come out with a glorious lifestyle without fully comprehending how much time, effort, and income their desired lifestyle actually requires. So, showing her exactly what your family makes for income and how you're choosing to spend it and where changes could be made if it was needed is Finance 101 and will definitely help her avoid debt and other financial decisions that could cause her serious challenge down the road. Agreed, but just a note, certain single-subject teachers where I live, Urban West Coast, US, can make six figures in underprivileged districts. Not all teachers are destitute. Not the a-hole, you're preparing her for the reality that she is going to face after college. You are literally teaching her budgeting. You did not say don't pursue teaching. You just taught her about what different salaries can buy. If she isn't prepared to deal with the lifestyle it comes with, she shouldn't be a teacher. Honestly, it seems like this was the most responsible course of action for both of you. I really appreciated how OP also pointed out where they could cut spending if their income was lower. It really emphasizes how she can go be a teacher. She just needs to be realistic about what that means for her budget. No a-holes here. You're doing a good job by going over budgeting and finance stuff with your daughter and showing her the realities of a $40,000 a year job as contrasted with a $400,000 job. Absolutely not the a-hole. Your sister-in-law is extolling the virtues of her profession, which she loves. It's an honorable and admirable profession. Definitely not the a-hole. Your daughter is a passionate teenager. Certainly not the a-hole. Sounds like a good healthy family to me. I would say sister-in-law delved into a-hole territory when she attacked OP for bringing realism into their daughter's dream. Especially since sister-in-law doesn't actually realize how hard it is to live in a teacher's salary without a wealthy partner. And that's the end of this video, folks. As always, leave a comment and hit like and subscribe. And if you want more of this content, turn your notification on to get updated on the latest videos. And I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe.